G'day guys, we are back with a tool review. So I've had this Escan Elite for, I'm not even sure, maybe 9 months or so. I've been meaning to do a tool review on it for quite a while, just haven't had a chance to do it. But now I have got the moment to do it. So I've actually installed this on my Microsoft Surface Pro. This is one of my old tablets that I've just had. That's obviously touchscreen, and we've got the pen, so it's easy to take into the car. It's portable. Don't have to muck around with a keyboard as such. You can use the pen to touch everything as we go. So what we're going to do is I'll just quickly give you an overview of it. We're not going to go through every single function available, otherwise this is going to turn into a 2-hour video. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of it anyway. We'll go out to the car and we'll connect it up and we'll have a squeeze at it. At the moment it's in demo mode because obviously the actual Escan dongle is not connected. It is Bluetooth module, so it's all wireless, which is also fantastic. So we'll go out to the car, we'll plug it in, and then I'll get you back up. Alright guys, here we are in the car. So this is a little beautiful small dongle with a little ribbon on it. So we're going to plug this in, then I'll take you over to the screen and we'll have a good look over the tool. So we are looking on the left here now, as you can see, where we're looking at the bank to bank. So this is a Toyota FJ Cruiser with a V6 petrol engine. So when we're looking up here, we are looking at the O2 sensors. So we're looking at their switching ability, and if the average of the switching is centered, if it's cycling right, our center will show green. We know we've got a good air-fuel ratio mixture because our fuel trims are both good, and our bank-to-bank trim is obviously good. So, you know, at the bottom we've got charging voltage, that's great, no engine light on, monitors complete, so that's our readiness monitors. So if the PCM completes all the monitors, then we know we've got nothing to worry about. That's the main things you're looking at. This side of the screen on the home screen is what you're looking at. That gives you a basic indication of the air fuel going on with the car. So all this stuff at the bottom, like I did say before, this is all really made for US vehicles. We put a particular vehicle in and it brings up all this information for you. Yeah, it's good if you're really looking in depth, but to be honest with you, this is a generic scan tool. You probably don't need these functions anyway. So your main things you're going to be looking at is this stuff across the top up here. So, you know, that's your main eScan there. We can go to the DTCs. So like I did say before, we're just going to go over a few basic functions and what we're looking at, and then we're going to leave it at that because there's quite a few things in here, and we could really be spending ages on, you know, putting this together and doing a review on it. So if we get the basic gist of it, you guys are going to know whether this is something that you can use and whether you can make money with, or whether you're going to save time with. So really, time is money anyway. So if you're saving time doing something, this is going to be making you money. So look, this is a known good car. So I know I'm not going to give you the best, you know, visuals of what's going on here. So, you know, if we go read codes, we've got no codes. So, but if we do have codes up here in this area, we can go read freeze frame data, and then we're going to get the freeze frame data for it. So we know what we're looking at there. So that's just the generic OBD side of the tool. When we go to our monitors, so unfortunately a little bit on this side, unfortunately the actual screen is a little bit too small for this, so it actually wants to be a little bit bigger than this. That's why a few things are, you know, cramped up in this corner, but not a big deal. You know, you can set this up on any laptop, anything like that. So at the moment this is a 10-inch screen, so it's a little bit smaller than what it should be. So, you know, we're not really worried about that anyway. Yeah, so look, obviously the monitors are complete, so there's nothing to worry about here. Because obviously, like I said before, down in that bottom left-hand corner, we've got monitors complete. So we can go to PIDs. We've got all our available OBD PIDs here. So as you can see, if I go down there, down the screen, you can see what we've got available there. It's pretty generic for OBD stuff. So that's the pit area. We can go to digital. So whatever you're looking at over here, you can choose what you want these to be, and then obviously, you know, RPM, and you can see a visual bar graph sideways. So that can give you an indication of what's going on there. We can go to graphs, so we get a graph of everything going on. And once again, you can choose what you want these to be. And once you get what you want, you can obviously go for a drive. You can change how many points you want on the graph by going to this top right hand corner and changing this. So there's a few customizable features down here which can increase how you look at this screen. But yeah, it's just a visual representation. You know, a lot of people, when you're looking at PIDs, you like to see a graph mode, so you can see the ups and downs, peaks and troughs, and figure it out instead of looking at numbers that, you know, sometimes might not correlate to what you want to look at, particularly if you've got an intermittent fault. So, you know, that's another great function there. We've got mode 6 data. So that's, you know, a lot of you guys that are into mode 6, this would be really good for you. You can scroll through there after you click in read all mode 6. Whatever's available is what you're going to get on this screen. So it doesn't matter whether you're using this Escan or using a generic OBD tool. Whatever's available in mode 6 is what you're going to see. So there's going to be no more or no less on this tool than another. There's nothing fancy about that. It just is what it is. Let's go to O2s. We can try reading oxygen sensor monitoring test results. Nothing there, but you know, that's a real generic thing anyway. It's probably not something most of us would be using. The biggest ticket item of this tool, other than what is on the left for drivability, and you got to understand too what's on the left here. Very simple, but if you are getting a scan tool and you're going into the scan tool, you're searching for these PIDs, you're looking to work it out by monitoring them yourself, you plug this tool in and it's already there. It's right there in front of your face. So really simple, quick way to look at that and already have a direction of, you know, where you're going to be looking for diagnosis. So other than that, that's one of the main draw cards. The other main draw card of this tool is the Sharpshooter in the top right hand corner. So let's have a look at the Sharpshooter. Alright guys, so we are in Sharpshooter now. What we're going to do is I'm just going to pick probably 4 of the tests. We're not going to do them all. We're just going to pick the main 4 that you're probably going to use. So first one's fuel trims here. Next one is the volumetric efficiency of the engine. Then we're going to choose cat efficiency, and then we are going to do a relative compression test, because some of you may not know that the Escan Elite can actually do a relative compression test directly from the DLC socket. So obviously you need to disable the engine from starting, so we can still get that relative compression done. But you know, if you can do that and the tool's already in and you're looking at other things, then why not do it from the DLC socket and give you an indication of whether you may have a mechanical fault or not. So it's just another tool in the arsenal to give you direction of diagnostic flow. So the first thing we will look at is catalytic efficiency. So let's go to that. Let's go to prepare for test, no DTCs, fuel control, fuel trim, coolant temp must be greater than 170 Fahrenheit, run engine above 1800 RPM, rear O2 snap throttle twice. Alright, run engine above 1800 RPM. So we'll do that for a little bit. So we're at 2300 RPM. I'm not really counting the minute. Hopefully this is counting for us. Let's see what it's doing. As you can see, it's doing its own thing there. It's getting the test done. So what this is doing is just calculating how well your catalysts are performing. So let's just see if it gets the test done and what shows up for the results. I know this is a known good car, so I don't expect it to fail, but let's see how the results come up anyway. Should be getting to 1 minute. There we go, now that's done, so let's go start test. There you go. So it's following as it's running, and we can see our catalyst on bank 1 is a little bit less, but nonetheless it's almost 100%. So this is excellent. That is a pass. This is a really great tool for getting a vehicle in with a catalyst below efficiency code or something like that. This can prove relatively easily. So yeah, that is another great function. Very easy test that we can do from the driver's seat, and then obviously you decide what you need to do after that point. So we can stop that. So we know that's done. So the next thing we'll do, because we're sitting here, is we'll do the relative compression. So here we go to compression, and what I'll do is I will turn the car off. I'll go disable the engine from starting, and then we will start this test. Okay, so the car is now off. The engine has been disabled from starting. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Start Test. Please select number of cylinders. I should have done that first. Okay, so number of cylinders is 6. Start test. Start cranking for 8 seconds. Let's do it. Stop cranking. So obviously, like I said to you before, there doesn't appear to be the full screen because it's a small screen on the Microsoft Surface. So this will make better use on a at least a 12-inch screen, probably 11 point something, close to 12-inch will probably be absolutely perfect. But I mean, even if we look down the bottom here, we can see that we've got our efficiencies on the left. 3 100, 299, 181. One's a little bit down. I don't think that's a big issue. There's always going to be some little discrepancies between the engines, and this isn't 100% perfectly accurate. Obviously, we're relying on measuring the starter amperage draw to work out how well the compression is drawing on the actual starter motor. So as we can see along the bottom here in the green, that's our bar graph. If we look above, we have got our actual relative compression test there in the actual waveform, and it all looks good. A little drop there, but it all looks pretty damn even along there, so that's pretty fantastic. You can just come straight away. If you've got a car with a misfire, for example, if you've got a dead misfire on a cylinder, the first thing that you should really do before you do anything is a relative compression test, because it takes a couple of minutes to do, and you can already rule out anything mechanical. So if you had a vehicle coming in with a dead misfire, quickly jump on the Escan here, relative compression test, done. We know not a mechanical fault. Let's go have a look at the spark and the fuel. So that's another great test. What we'll do is we will go over to fuel trims now, and what we'll do is we'll put everything back together. We'll go for a drive. We'll click on Start Test. And what this will do is when you drive this vehicle under certain conditions, percentage of throttle, percentage of RPM, that this table will slowly start to fill with the actual fuel trims for that particular cross section. So the more you drive it under the most conditions you can, you will start to fill out this whole chart. And the advantage of seeing it like this over a standard live data PID is that you can actually see, say for example, you have a lean condition middle of the rev range here. Good up here, good down there. It's just an easy visual representation of what you're looking at and what you need to chase. So fantastic, fantastic way to do it. So we're going to go out there and we're going to try that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to reverse out. I'm going to be driving, so hopefully you can still hear me. Let's go see if we can fill up this chart. So let's go start test. I'll take it for a bit of a drive around the corner and let's see how we go. Well, hopefully this is a known good car, so hopefully we're going to have no issues with this. But I can't really look at the screen because I'm concentrating on driving, so you're going to do the watching for me. And you'll see how throttle position compared to RPM correlates and where our fuel trims are accordingly. So I'll muck around with a little bit with the throttle. Put the throttle down, slow down, go around corners, slight load, decelerating, back to idle. And obviously with a V-type engine, we've got both banks available, so we can pair bank-to-bank fuel trims, which is also absolutely fantastic. So I won't go too far because you get the gist of it there. And what you can do is you can stop that when you're finished. The longer you drive it, the better chance you have of filling out all the actual all the blocks. So that's going to give you a better chance of diagnosing it. But really, you know, if you go for a quick drive like this and everything is green, you know there is nothing to worry about. So that is also another cool test. So let's just pull over and we'll do the volumetric efficiency. Okay, so here we are in the volumetric efficiency section. And what we do is we go over here, we choose our engine size in litres, approximate air temp, it's about 30 here at the moment, elevation feet above sea level. We'll make sure we set that to whatever city we're in, and then all we do is we go click on start test and we go give it a wide open throttle rev. So wide open throttle, that probably didn't even make sense because I'm half concentrating on what's on the road in front of me. So let's go start test. Turbocharged, supercharged, no, we've got what we want it to be there and there. And let's go, press enter when done. So the test is now running. Let's go give it. So that is done, and as you can see, so I'll hold that, the red trace is actually theoretical airflow that's calculated by the numbers that we entered. We have got our yellow trace here, which is the actual measured airflow that we're getting on this wide open throttle test. So if they match, we know that we have got an engine that can breathe properly. We know our MAF sensor's working properly. We know we don't have an issue with a blocked exhaust or anything like that. So this is a really great tool to confirm that the actual engine can breathe, and we've got a great reading MAF sensor to eliminate any airflow drivability issues. And then you can look in the fuel side of it. And obviously, if we go to the top and we go to VE TFT compare, it will compare the actual fuel trims versus our volumetric efficiency. And when you do this on a car that you have an issue with, you should be able to see which one is deviating the most to confirm whether you're chasing a fuel delivery issue or fuel issue, or an air issue. So that is that side of it done. So that's it, guys. That's all I really wanted to show you on the tool. Just a basic overview of the actual tool itself and the main functions that you'd probably use. You know, once you get used to it, you're probably playing with all the other little bits and pieces, but really they're probably the main ones that you'd be looking at if you were looking at this tool. If you got any questions or you want to know anything about this tool, then obviously, you know, comment on here or get in contact with me, get in contact with anyone that's got one, and we can certainly point you in the right direction. But really, this is a great drivability tool. It's well worth the cost once you figure out the how you can use it efficiently to save yourself time and make some money. So I appreciate you watching, guys. Hopefully you think it's a great tool. Let us know what you think below, or if you think I haven't explained anything properly, please let me know. Yeah, thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, guys.